Here's your first run and gun rig for under $500.
So when it comes to building out your kit, think of the accessories you're buying as a way of sort of filling out and circumventing the issues of your camera. So, audio, battery life, stabilization, the deep dark hole in your heart that this camera has failed to fill. All these accessories you get are basically there to circumvent all of that. So whatever issues you might have with your video camera, there's probably an accessory out there that you can attach the camera to fix that issue. Now, honestly, you can do quite a lot with your camera as it is, just with the body and the lens, but a gradual upgrade to your kit is going to be the difference between having more dynamic shots, less sore knees and less sore backs. So you can spend either $500 now or spend a whole lot more money at the physio when you pull out your back while doing a low squat shot. Now today I'm making a fairly cheap build for under 500 bucks. I'm using my R5 Mark II as a reference point, but you can actually apply all of this equipment to various other cameras as it's all very universal in itself. With the exception of the camera cage where you have to get a specific cage for a specific camera, but otherwise everything else here is easily adaptable. Now the prices here are relevant as of this video, but sales and nonsensical tariffs do happen. So for now, it's a $500 kit. So let's get to it. Item 1, a cage. So before buying any accessories, the first thing you want to actually get is a camera cage. What this basically is pretty much it has a whole lot of threads and screws and mounts on the cage that you can attach to your camera. So you're gonna need this if you actually want to attach any actual accessories to your camera. It also does give you a bit of guard around the body. So if you do, for whatever reason, drop this camera, you do have a little bit of protection on your camera as well, thanks to this metal guard, which I've had one for quite a while and it hasn't snapped or broken anyway. Get all this. Like that one good pair of jeans you had, you're probably never going to be taking this cage off this camera. It honestly gives you a good foundation to fit all different accessories on, and it does last the longevity of the camera, to be honest. The only time you're really going to need to get a new camera cage is when you get a new camera. Another thing that's also special is this camera also does have an Arca base plate here. And what's special about that is pretty much if you're using an RS gimbal or a tripod with an Arca mount, you can actually very easily attach your device to the base plate with no problem. So you don't need to screw in an entirely new base plate to this camera. You can just use the cage as it is. I will advise that if you didn't know this already, don't tell your friends, especially your videographer and photographer friends, that you didn't know this, because they will haze you and make you feel small. Next up is going to be step 1 of your stabilizing your camera, and that's attaching a top handle. Now, what's special about a top handle is basically it can, attach to the top of your camera, and you can carry your camera around very easily like a bag. As I found that the more accessories you attach to your camera, the heavier it's going to get. And unfortunately, carrying around like this isn't going to be very practical in the long run. It is going to be very heavy. So it's actually much more practical to attach a top handle where you can basically carry the camera like a bag. So that's much more easier. It's a lot less cumbersome. And if you're someone that likes to do low tracking shots or low shots and doesn't want to have to constantly squat, having a top handle is great. It's really good for those sort of sleek bit of tracking shots. A gimbal is better, but we are trying to stay on the budget here. For now, this is great. And honestly, this handle is going to be staying with you for the longevity of your camera. Now, the top handle I'm using here in particular, you can get different top handles, but I'm using the Hawklock H21. What I like about this is mainly it does have a NATO rail. So pretty much this NATO rail right here means that the grip here can actually attach and grip onto it. So it's not like a screw where it will gradually just sort of loosen over time as it sort of twists and turns. Basically, it will fit very nicely on and stay firmly. Like, look, I'm properly shaking that, I'm properly twisting that around, handle's not coming off. Another thing I also like about this top handle is it does have extra NATO rails, extra cold shoe mounts, extra threads. So I can actually attach various accessories to this top handle here, which is what I am going to do today. So having that extra bit of space to attach these accessories is going to matter to me at least. Item 3, a side handle. Now, a side handle is pretty much going to be necessary for most cameras nowadays, because I don't know if you noticed this, but most cameras don't have a grip to the left of them. So for a photographer, that might be fine when you're holding it like this, but for a videographer, holding the camera under the lens or the body here will actually start to affect the stabilization. So definitely start investing in stabilization very early on in your video career, as it is going to make a difference. It's the difference between a professional videographer and someone that's just picked up a camera. So what we got here basically is we're going to be attaching the side handle here And basically what this means is now you have pretty much good grip on both hands. You have good even dispersion of weight. This will keep your camera very sort of stabilized. And now you can do panning shots, you can be following shots. There's still going to be a little bit of shake with this setup, but it now won't look like you're having an epileptic fit while filming. Item 4, a mic. Now, a microphone is very much like public transport. We all hate it, but we absolutely need it. Now, you can sort of say, I don't necessarily need audio, but the reality is people can forgive bad video. I mean, that's why TikTok exists. But starting out, it does get you a bit more work and it gives you a bit more creative versatility when you can actually get diegetic audio from the location. So this is a pretty good start as far as mics are concerned. It's directional, which basically means that it's only picking audio up at the direction you've pointed it at. So no heavy breathing on behind here, no audio on the side here. And if you need something subtle or you just need a microphone closer to your subject, this also does come with a lapel mic. Now this is about 1.5 meters in length. Basically, you sort of thread this up a person's shirt and clip it onto the collar or the lapel, or you can simply just sort of stretch it out and attach it like that. Now we are keeping under budget here right now with this microphone, but I do recommend investing in some good wireless microphones down the line, as it is going to make a huge difference to your workflow and it does make your job much easier. Now, I recommend getting something like the Wireless Pro from Rode or the DJI Mic 3. These are great mics, very easy to use and very compatible with pretty much every camera. But otherwise, if you're starting out, the Forever Vala, I cannot say the name, the Foray Vala S20, it's a good start. It's not going to cost you a whole lot, but still gives you decent audio. Item number 5, an external monitor. Yeah, I can actually have the vari angle sort of go out to the side here and not have a problem with sort of seeing the screen, but that is going to be quite awkward, especially if I want to add even more equipment, as now I've got the screen effectively crammed into the handle here, and it's also not directly lined up with the lens. And even if you do have a camera with a tilt screen, this handle is probably going to be getting in the way as well. So the idea here is you do want to invest in an external monitor that's clear of all your equipment and still means you can easily see what you're recording. Because I don't know about you, I like to see. It's one of my favorite things to do. There is actually a cost-effective way to have an external monitor, and it basically involves you using, well, this, your phone. So pretty much a phone, everyone's got a phone. I don't know, if you don't have a phone, please comment below and tell me what it's like to be happy. But really, we all do have phones, and I think it is a smart thing as a videographer to economize as much as possible. Don't throw out stuff just because you want to buy something brand new. Look at your equipment and go, is this something I can reuse for something later down the line? And your phone is honestly probably going to be the most useful tool starting out. So basically, most cameras nowadays do have an app for them where they can sort of Bluetooth the screen to the camera. So there is a tiny bit of delay. Actually, that's a lie. There is lag on this phone, unfortunately. I was using the Camera Connect app for Canon, and what I found is basically this app was using both the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi, which was significantly slowing down the signal to my phone, so there was a lot of lag on this screen. The way I actually fixed that though is I did just simply turn off the Bluetooth on my phone and utilize just the Wi-Fi connection, and I had a much better performance. There was a little bit of lag every now and then, and especially if you're moving very quickly, you might get a bit of lag, but significantly better. So I recommend whatever camera you're using with whatever app, make sure you're not using both the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth simultaneously. Just pick one or the other. And also make sure you're exited out of any sort of other apps. You don't want to have any other apps running on your phone while you're streaming to the phone, as it will slow down the signal significantly and basically make having a phone as a monitor completely pointless. And so what we got here is basically a little phone mount and a small rig swivel monitor mount. Now this is probably going to be used as you get better monitors. This is just for your phone. But what's great about these little fins is you can sort of very easily attach your phone. Put it into the second cold shoe mount on the handle. So yeah, we really did need those additional sort of mounts on the top handle here. And I've got that the wrong way around. I'm gonna put it, there we go. So there you have it. Basically, you have a complete full kit for under $500. I can now still see my screen very easily without any of the other equipment getting in the way and without the screen getting in the way of the other equipment. So there you have it, a full run and gun kit for under $500. I'd tell you this is all you'd buy, but let's be honest, you're into video. You will buy more, and sometimes for the dumbest reasons, but it will make you happy like it does me. So that's a full kit here. We have sort of overcome the broadest issues you're gonna have with your camera when recording video. So stabilize, clear audio, clear screen. But let me know in the comments below what accessory you feel is indispensable to your kit. Mine's my camera.